I was having a really, really cool conversation with the people in Discord. We were talking about gaming, as we do. We talk about gaming, but it was a PC versus console situation. A really interesting post was made by one of the Discord members. They essentially were like, hey, PC has kind of become equal with console when it comes to confusion. That's not how they worded it. They said that console gaming is starting to get confusing, and they listed like 4 sections per console, right? Nintendo Switch, LCD, OLED, Lite, all that different stuff. Same thing with the Xbox, PlayStation, and so on and so forth. And I thought it was a really interesting point. I'm like, you know what? At first, the knee-jerk reaction always is to be like, no. PC is more complicated. And in some ways it is. But then we started talking about like gaming on like TV versus gaming on a monitor, and there were some points made where it's just like, PC gamers can play on their home TVs. It's possible. And I was like, yeah, I guess it is possible, but it's not like what everyone does. But it just came down to like a really interesting idea, which was, what kind of gamer are you? And I think that's like kind of a cool question to ask yourself. So my name is JD Coffee. If this is your first time here, I make a cup of coffee and talk about gaming. I'm a father of 2, husband of 1, and like to play video games. Now, in saying all that, I would say that today was the discovery, and you're watching this the next day. So literally, this discovery is brand spanking new. A brand spanking new discovery. Hot off the presses, he says. And the question I asked was, what kind of gamer are you? Well, we first started discussing lifestyle, and I was just like, there's never going to be a PC situation where it's going to be better than console wholly, and there's never going to be a console situation that's better than PC wholly, WHOLLY, because both of them serve very, very specific purposes, right? So for PC gamers, maximum quality, availability, versatility, no online service payments, a lot of really cool things there for them. Console gamers, turn it on and it works every time. And if it doesn't work, back in the day, you would just blow in the cartridge, which I had to do with this one, Donkey Kong Country 2, which was an accidental purchase, by the way. I totally meant to purchase Donkey Kong Country 1, but wasn't paying attention. And so now I have Donkey Kong Country 2, which I'm not really mad about because Donkey Kong Country 2 is a really fun game. And by Donkey Kong Country 2, I actually mean Donkey Kong Land 1 and 2. It's okay. We're going to get there. Now, back to the topic at hand. What kind of gamer are you? And the statement that I said that triggered the thought was, I originally said I am let me take it back a little bit. So we were talking about the type of gaming, right? And so the first was like enthusiast versus casual. And so PC gaming, I would say, and this is gonna trigger people, and the comment section is gonna get weird, but hey, it's fine. Engagement. I'm not doing this on purpose. I do believe this. I do. And if you disagree with me, cool. I think that PC gaming will always be the enthusiast's device. I know, that seems crazy. People are going to be like, no, casuals totally play on PC. Sure. But when it comes to a gaming rig, a multi-$1,000 or a high $1,000 gaming rig, not a multi-purpose device that you use for work, though you can, but literally a device that you have built, a rig that you have built to PC game on. This is the enthusiast. Right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, enthusiasts are great. I mean, my buddy's a car enthusiast. He has some weird Land Cruiser that's like a big deal, an FJ whatever, dude. He's an enthusiast. That's rad. I'm an enthusiast. That's why I have a Game Boy replica. It's not really a replica, but it's like I'm a Nintendo enthusiast. So I'm playing legit cartridges on a newer Game Boy. That for most people would be asinine. There's like no save states. It can't play ROMs unless you get like an Evercart. Like, I'm an enthusiast in my own right. So PC gaming is for the enthusiast, true PC gaming, right? And, we were talking about the PC console thing, and I was like, honestly, I know at least a dozen people who have purchased either an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, current gen, and will get the PlayStation 5 Pro, oddly enough, just to play Call of Duty. Like, they literally, I know someone who I used to train with who literally bought an Xbox Series X just to play Call of Duty. And he's like, yeah, when the new one comes out, I'll just buy it and play the new one, because all I play is Call of Duty. And that's why I have an Xbox. And he's in his early 40s, and he has 4 kids, and he just gets to play with his brother at like 11 p.m. at night on Saturdays, 1 day a week. Like, that is why he owns an Xbox, right? And I feel like that's the casual, right? And I think about that, and I'm like, what kind of gamer am I? And I said the statement I said was, I am an enthusiast with a casual's amount of time. And I know that it seems that I might have more time because this is my job, but it's not really that way. You see, it takes me about half an hour to shoot one of these videos, and then I have to edit the video, and then my kids are waking up from naps. It's not that easy, or that not that easy, but it's not that kind of thing. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I am trying to say is that when it comes to gaming as a whole, the actual discovery that I had, oh boy, come on now. I definitely don't want to press out on that seam. But the discovery that I had was that I am someone who is not only just a casual gamer, but I am a nostalgic gamer. And that is a really, really loaded term. Okay, that's an extremely loaded term, so I need to unpack that a little bit so that I can grant a little bit more clarity when I say something like a nostalgic gamer. So I have mentioned 100 times that I am a huge fan of Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo. My father working for Nintendo at one point in his life, me playing Nintendo growing up my whole life, like Nintendo. Now, when it comes to nostalgia, my gaming primarily my whole life was, you guessed it, Nintendo. Also PlayStation. But I spent a good deal of my days playing on my Game Boy or Game Boy Advance. They were really pivotal moments. And I mentioned in the previous cup something called nostalgia skin, right? Well, I didn't say it perfectly, but I was talking about modding a specific game that is older to make it look better. But if you have nostalgia, you don't actually have to mod it because nostalgia will do the modding for you. You're actually playing the game and you're like, man, this looks so great. And everyone else is like, no, it looks like garbage. And you're like, no, can't you see the charm? It's like, no, that charm only exists to you, right? Because you love that game, right? Totally cool. I'm that way about some, older Zelda games or Mario games. Super Mario Land, it's the lands that get me. Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. It is probably one of the weirdest Mario games, and for me, it's the most charming. It's super bizarre, dude. You can play it in 2 hours. Really bizarre. An original Game Boy game. My dad and I played it. I love it. I think it's one of the greatest Mario games out there. People are gonna be like, are you kidding me? This is crazy. You're putting this in the same boat as Super Mario Wonder and Mario 64, huge games. Yeah, I am, because that's the nostalgia skin. Okay. But what kind of gamer am I? And I realize as a casual nostalgic gamer, I have, and this is the unlock that I had today or yesterday, I guess, when you're watching this. Well, if you're watching this days after, it's irrelevant. So I guess I'm just gonna stick with the present day. This is the unlock I had today, which was I have spent the past, I'd say decade of my gaming going to what are other people playing because of that sense of community, right? Because I am a person who has historically struggled with loneliness. There, I said it on the internet. Cool. And in doing so, I'm always searching for community and trying to fit in. And trying to fit in when you're playing video games in your 30s, late 20s, whatever, just trying to discover yourself. You're like, oh man, I want to, I play that game too, and I'm not, sitting there going oh no, I don't play Gears of War or Halo because I don't like it. I instead play Ni no Kuni. All right? Dude, I have tried to love Halo and Gears of War for the past 3 years. There was a moment where I was really into Halo. I'm going to be honest. I don't love them. I don't love them. I will go on record saying they're boring. Halo and Gears of War to me are boring. I didn't grow up playing them. I didn't have an Xbox. I have no ties to Master Chief or Marcus. I know that the stories are incredible and they just hit home in a way that's just incredible. Space Marine 2. I bought that game. Don't play it because I don't really care about it. I have Sparking Zero, which I actually play. And that one's fun, but I don't play it as much as I purchased it for. Bought the early release to stream it. Streamed it. Never played it again. It's not true. I did play it again, but And it's because the chase has been what is out, right? And the unlock for me was I am a casual chasing I am a casual gamer. No, I'm an enthusiast with a casual's amount of time. Well, how do I get served as a gamer and properly allocate time, the very limited time I have because of my kids or because of, being a husband, cooking, all that stuff, taking care of myself, working out, staying healthy? How do I balance that the best way possible? Great question. I don't have an answer for you. But what I can say is that in thinking more about, for goodness sakes, dude, I can probably go to my desk of games or my shelf of games, Nintendo Switch games. I never thought that this would be the person I am, but this is the person I am. I literally have games on there on that shelf that haven't been unwrapped. I never thought I'd be in that spot. Potentially because it was a misallocation of, time. Like, oh, this will be good. But also some of it was because, oh, I'm going to buy this because it's going to be a good game to review or whatever. This kind of thing, this unlock, was so powerful for me because it partially could be because of the content creation space, but also I think it's just genuinely because this is not going to be an attack on media, but let me just use it for a brief moment. I think that advertisement in media does a really good job. It's really good at hiding marketable FOMO. And I think for me, that's what I've been realizing. I have been very, very fooled by the marketable FOMO. And I've been chasing some of those moments. I've been like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to love it. It's going to be, everyone's playing it. 200 people are playing it online. 200,000 people are streaming it on Twitch. Like, this game is crushing. That happened to me with Elden Ring. I bought it because it had 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's the greatest game ever. And I started playing it and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? I'm going from like playing Breath of the Wild every day and Super Mario Deluxe U to Elden Ring. And I'm like, yeah, let's broaden my horizons. And I'm like, this is not for me. My best friend going, dude, this game, like, I love they're the best. They're awesome. I love it. And being like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to do that. No. I don't know if it's a term. I don't know if it's a thing or not. I don't know if I'm important enough to even coin a phrase. But I have, been using the term flexible location gamer, right? For a while, right? Being able to play games wherever, however, whenever you want. I'm gonna lock into. I'm gonna hold on to FlexiLock. But I think the next thing is a genre that I would define my interest as, and that is a nostalgic gamer. I don't know if I don't know if that's a thing, and I know that nostalgia is a loaded term. But for me, I realized that last night I played Donkey Kong Country with an arcade stick. I finished it up. I'm gonna hopefully finish it up. Well, okay. So this is weird because I'm recording this. I recorded 2 in a day, so using the terminology, I finished it using the arcade stick. I played it on the Nintendo Switch, but that feeling was one of the greatest gaming feelings I've had in a very long time. And it's because that's what just tickles me, and that's what gets me excited. Listening to older music from when I was, in high school, and just getting that feeling again. That's why I love this stuff. That's what I love, and I think that's why every 6 months I throw caution to the wind. I say, "F it, Nintendo only." I'm not making any declarative statements. But what I am saying is that as a gamer, as someone who enjoys this as a hobby, I think that the genre of nostalgia is genuinely that's my go-to. If you use a new Mario game, Super Mario Wonder was just a pleasure to play because it was a homage to all my favorite things about Mario, from the weird mechanics with the different badge systems all the way to the goofy worlds and the different things you can transform into, which reminded me of the older Mario games. It just was great, to Tears of the Kingdom, which broke some rules when it came to things. I don't usually play open world games, and it was very much so open world. And the building mechanic I didn't love, but again, the music in it, the areas, some of the items reminded me of the older Zelda games I used to play. The puzzles certainly were intricate enough to keep me interested and remind me of like Link's Awakening, some of the different rooms you have to do different things in. Like this kind of thing is what just is, it just makes, it brings joy and rest to me. Gaming, like for some people, like again, one of my best friends talks about FromSoft games or From Software. I don't even know what they're called, but like playing Elden Ring. He's like, I love Elden Ring. You have to work so hard, and then once you get it, you feel like you've accomplished something. And for me, I totally understand that. That's not why I go to games. Like I don't go to games for the feeling of work and accomplishment, so to speak. I go to the games for the feeling of wonder and for the feeling of nostalgia in a lot of ways, but this like story-driven mechanics experience. It's experience. That's what it is. It's nostalgia gaming tied with experience. I mean, for goodness sakes, playing through Donkey Kong with an arcade stick, it's an experience. It's not anything special. I'm not doing it for, oh, look at this challenge. It's not that hard. It doesn't make things. It's a platformer, for goodness sakes. Arcade stick does not add difficulty to it. Okay. Same with Super Mario World. I've played Super Mario World 100 times. Will I play a 3D Zelda game with an arcade stick where you have to switch between like left stick, right stick, deep? No, I'm not looking to add challenge. I'm just looking to increase experience, to have whoa, this is really interesting. This is a really cool feeling. I mean, some of the newer games that I've liked, I've really enjoyed, were based on the experience. I got a Steam Deck to play games in that handheld form factor because it grants me that experience. And I think myself, what I'm looking for in gaming is a lot less about the next biggest Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever, dude. These big games that have come out or are coming out, Wolverine. I'm looking for an experience. Very reason why I am a huge fan of PlayStation was the DualSense. The DualSense adds an element to the experience. Playing through Final Fantasy XIV, sure, it would probably run better on a PC than on a PlayStation, although it's a bad example because it runs really, really well, but the DualSense controller adds an element to me. Every step, you feel the vibrations through the haptics, whatever they want to call it, like that kind of thing. The adaptive triggers when you're pulling a bow or when you're shooting machine gun, like that kind of thing for me is so special. And I mean, again, I'm a Nintendo fan, man, through and through. They've always been like my gaming. Wow, dude, it's just striking me right now. The reason why experience and nostalgia are the two determining factors and why video, like what will grant me the most joy playing video games is because Nintendo, that's all they care about. They only care about the gaming experience, and they capitalize on nostalgia. And some would call the experience a gimmick and nostalgia a trap, but I am their target audience. Dude, it just hit discovery after discovery. Sometimes you just need to work out, have a good lunch, sit down and think with a cup of coffee, and you'll be able to come up with some really, really cool things. If this is something that you resonate with, share with me some of your favorite things about gaming. What kind of gamer are you? I would love to hear more about this. Today, I'm not streaming, if you're watching this live. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday as of late. That's always going to change. So you really want to just follow, trying to figure it out. And in the evenings, as I'm realizing that's the most consistent I can be, twitch.tv/JDXCoffee. Go ahead and check it out. Finish up here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're watching this bright and early, if you're watching it later in the afternoon, enjoy whatever's left. But as always, play more and be kind. See ya.